So I'm doing a top 5 for Game of Thrones, the show. Now, I've read the books, but I'm doing it for the show because, well, more people are familiar with the show. And the reason I'm doing this video is because it's coming back tonight, and I thought it would be kind of cool or special, you know, event, I guess. I don't know. I just wanted to do it, really, because I love the show. But I love the books as well. So we're not going to do anything past Season 3, even though I know what's coming, and that a lot of these ones I want to put are on this list. We're only going to do Season 1 to 3, at least for now. So let's do the top 5 deaths, and that means multiple deaths to one single death, to a fight that leads to a death, and so on. So let's begin.
Mago Asakat Shilari, Mashek Mishirakiani. And the request of San Ahariashek, Majin Morinembis, Majin Nembososaji.
Jiniat Bela Jalar, Jin Churase Zafrajin, Majin Kisha Takimora, Ben Mea Balaya Pakisha.
Drago in the books, I hope I'm saying his name right, he was never to me a really cool character. He was just, you know, okay. You know, he raped a freaking 14-year-old or 13-year-old in the book. I wasn't really pleased with his character, and despite him redeeming himself as it went on in a relationship with Dany, it just, I never liked him. I always just thought he was okay. In the TV show, it's not much different, but I can't deny the awesome fight scene. And I love this fight scene for two reasons. One, it's just Cal's actually kind of defending her honor, and on top of that, it's just a brutal way to kill someone. The motherfucker just drops his weapons and rips this dude's throat out. Very, very cool. Loved it, and solid fight scene, and also just awesome finisher.
I'll tell you what, though, the hardest thing was getting that wolf's head to stay on the body. You sewed it up. I did.
I bet there were 1,000 men claiming they were the one.
It was me.
Now, Arya and the Hound are some of my favorite characters from both the book and the series, so I was really excited to see what they were going to do, and I absolutely love this scene in the show. And it leads on to another death scene, or leads from another death scene later in my list. But the reason I love this scene is because I fucking hate the phrase, and just this is like basically the first comeback of the, you know, kill ratio, and Arya's awesome stabbing to the neck, which is so beautiful, and then the Hound just whooped their asses in like 5 seconds. It was a great scene, and it was the first comeback for the fans of the Starks, and I just loved the shot. This whole scene was just awesome. Ed Stark's death in the book took me by surprise. In the show, I was worried, you know, could they handle it well? And they did. The reason Ed is so loved is because he is a very moral character. He's very kind-hearted and thinks what's right is usually what the mainstream thought of being right is. He is honorable in a lot of ways, and that's why people, you know, voted for him and wanted him to live. And when he dies, it's a very big surprise because he is basically the central character of Season 1 and Book 1, and you expect the hero to live and be saved, but the dude just doesn't get saved. He gets his head chopped off, which starts the rest of the series and sparks basically the events that happen throughout the book and TV show. So they handled it really well. I was still sad even though I knew it was coming, and it was hard to watch again. Even though you read it and then you gotta watch it, it was pretty freaking tough. So, loved it. Loved the music, the choice of the last words, the shot, and how it was shot. Great altogether.
There's only one ship. Where are the rest of them? Where are the rest of them?
There's only one ship.
It's just too long to list every fucking fight that happened with Blackwater, but the thing that stood out the most to me was the actual boat attack. To me, was the best. I mean, on ground was really cool. Some really fucked up finishers to get the whole nose scar thing for Tyrion and everything. It was just great, and even the speech from Tyrion. But the actual attack on the boat with the fire was, wow. It looked really good, and I'm a really big TV fan, even more than movies. I've watched a lot of TV shows, and this is probably one of the best looking scenes I've ever seen in a TV show. So I gotta give it props where props is due. It was this great starter to a big ass, long ass awesome episode, and loved it. Loved the fucking effects and everything, and it was just great.
Your Grace. I feel I've been remiss in my duties. I've given you meat and wine and music, but I haven't shown you the hospitality you deserve. My king has married, and I owe my new queen a wedding gift.
Now, I know most of you probably have this as your number one, or very last one, depending on how heartbroken you were. Reading the book and knowing that when Robb died in the book, I had to take a second. I sat back and I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? What did I just fucking read? I thought it was like a dream or something, but this is not a series that fucks around with that. And I was just sitting there. It was literally... I felt sad for a book character, and it happens, but not often, and when it does, it's got to be really well written. It was really well written, so watching it on the show, I was anxiously awaiting, not just to make fun of the fans' reaction, but even more so, could they handle it well? Could they do it as good? And these guys went a step further, and maybe even more fucking sad watching it. In the book, quick tip, his wife is not there. Robb, and I was like, oh, you know, and I didn't really care about his wife in the book, but I liked her in the show. I was like, well, at least she'll be saved and the baby and everything. No, they fucking they mutilate her baby in her body, and they stab her like 100 times, and I'm like, what is happening? And then, you know, just the slowness of the kills, everybody in the room dying, and watching poor Robb understanding what's happening slowly, and then getting killed, and you think maybe for a split second his mom can save him at least, but no, they're like, fuck you, you're gonna die. Oh, and you're like, no, and then Kat dies anyway, and you're like, no. It was just, wow. It's really heartbreaking watching it on fucking TV. I already knew it was coming. I knew the whole scene. I've read it twice in the book. I was like, it can't obviously make me sad again, but it fucking made me sad again, and stuck in my head for like a day or two. And it's just one of the best scenes. And you know, it's cool because not a lot of authors take the chance to kill main characters. And there was a series I read before called the Bartimaeus Trilogy, and I'm not going to get into it too much, but the point is that creator also took big leaps on fates of characters that are going to end up not the way you expect, and I actually contribute a lot to my work. So then with Game of Thrones even emphasizing it, a lot of my fantasy elements are from these two stories in terms of taking chances with their characters dying and people respecting their wishes. Anyway, point is, the scene was just brutal on the show, brutal in the books, and obviously one of the best death scenes in the entire series. Probably my second favorite of the entire book series and the best on TV. So that's it. Game of Thrones is back on tonight. I know everybody's excited. Season 4 is going to be great. I promise all you TV fans who don't read the books, book fans, I know we're excited because this is a great season for a comeback. You know what I mean? And it's probably the last amazing season for a while, but either way, we're going to get some quality shit here. Everybody enjoy, sit down and watch it, and that's my top 5 death scenes in Game of Thrones.